famous UFC fighters, all the way to NFL kickers, here are moments when athletes stood up to woke culture.
Free speech. And control what people say. Gonna tell people what to believe.
2 bedroom, all gender. It's like, what is this? Where I have to go? Where's woman? Where's men?
Everybody knows the woke mind virus has spread across Hollywood like an infection.
President of the United States, enough was enough, and I said, let Trumpomania.
Yeah, big names in the industry have all been coerced into sharing the same opinions as the woke media. But in today's video, we gonna be looking at moments when athletes push back against woke ideas and completely demolished the woke mob. After his victory on the octagon, MMA fighter Yoel Romero did something that really caused a stir across the woke brigade.
Hey USC, hey Miami, hey Florida. Listen people, listen. What happened to you, USA? What happened to you?
Taking the opportunity to speak, he decided to remind the U.S. of his Christian faith and traditional beliefs upon which the entire country was founded. Dana White, the billionaire and owner of the UFC, was hounded by the woke media on one occasion, and his reply has become an iconic victory for free speech. Now, this man didn't hold back. He made sure that he was clearly understood.
Homophobia, transphobia, is there...
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you...
A leash? Free speech. And control what people say. Gonna tell people what to believe. Gonna tell people... I don't fucking tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes on any of them.
He made his point clear on how he doesn't try to dictate what people think or say, unlike the woke media that has become infamous for censorship and speech policing. But surprisingly, the journalist tried to get more words from him even after getting owned by his reply.
What is your question?
I was asking that question. I'll move on, though.
Yeah, probably a good idea. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want and they can believe whatever they want. And I don't think there's any... We had 2 gay women who fought in the co-main event. They sat on the stage with Sean Strickland. They could give a shit what Sean Strickland thinks, or what he says, or what his beliefs are, or what his opinions are. You know what I mean?
Next up is a video of former world heavyweight champion and WWE Hall of Fame superstar Hulk Hogan going all out to show his support for Donald Trump. The worst possible move in the sight of woke liberals.
How Donald Trump, his family was compromised. When I look out there and I see Donald Trump, I think about how his business was compromised.
Now, Hulk Hogan didn't hold back on his investment in the efforts to fight against the woke media. He gave an elaborate performance during the Republican convention that left news feeds buzzing for days. Now, this was an iconic move that has become descriptive of the battle against woke culture.
The next President of the United States, enough was enough, and I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
Now here's a video of Hulk Hogan talking about his decision to stand up for the truth, regardless of who gets offended. It's an interesting take, seeing that Hogan used to be among those in the crowds who stayed silent and didn't want to get targeted by the woke mob.
Me over the edge with this thing because I was one of those people that was silent and I didn't speak. I call those people cowards.
Right.
You know, and I sat around for years and years and years and watched what was happening to our country. And when they did that to Trump.
The fact remains that most people are scared of saying how they truly feel, and this fear has allowed the woke media to take advantage of the country. See, more and more people ought to be taking responsibility and speak up in order to secure the future, and Hulk Hogan's decision to speak up against the woke culture is a sign that more people are standing up against this destructive movement.
Because Donald Trump has so much love, and he cares so much about this country, and he cares so much about people, that Trumpomania is the cure.
Next up is Formula One star Lewis Hamilton speaking up against the ban and censorship of political statements within the racing industry.
Doesn't surprise me, but nothing will stop me from speaking on the things that I feel that I'm passionate about and issues that there are. I feel the sport does have a responsibility still, always, to speak out on things, to create awareness and on important topics, particularly as we're traveling to all these different places. And so nothing changes.
Companies shouldn't have the right to control speeches. Banning entire comments about certain areas of society is an affront to free speech, and it's good to see that Lewis understands this.
I think it would be silly to say that I would want to get penalty points for speaking out on things. But as I said to you, I'm still going to be speaking my mind, and as we still have this platform, there's still a lot of things that we need.
The next athlete used to be the face of women in UFC a couple years back ago. Gina Serrano is a legend in her own right. Now, she ain't somebody who fancies the arena of political discussion. Her focus has always been on her craft, and throughout her time as a fighter, she always stayed on the quiet side of things.
It's time for this beauty to unleash the beast.
That was until she decided to make a change in her career. The UFC star moved on to Hollywood and starred in movies like Fast and Furious and a host of other box office hits. But she also got fired at the peak of her career after she made a tweet online. Her conservative comments on the Israel-Hamas conflict got her fired by Disney and Lucasfilm.
For a while, she was on the Disney show The Mandalorian, but then her career hit a brick wall. Why? Well, she was fired because she had heterodox opinions on face masks and the 2020 election.
When I wouldn't hashtag trans rights and I wouldn't put my pronouns in, like, they kept on it pressuring, and finally...
Despite the media censorship, she refused to stay quiet and is currently doing everything to ensure that her voice is heard. Her lawsuit has been filed, and fans have clamored behind the star in support, as free speech needs to be protected.
When I wouldn't hashtag trans rights and I wouldn't put my pronouns in, like, they kept on it pressuring, and finally I just said, I'm not doing this, you know, like, I'm not.
Her legal bills was all paid for by Elon Musk, and that's a good move by Elon, who has proven himself a true advocate for free speech. But our next athlete didn't need any kind of favors, as he was more than able to handle his business all by himself.
I'm not going to say.
And let me tell you something right now. If a man says he's not going to say, like, if you ask him, motherfucker, did you vote for Biden? He's like, well, I'm not going to say. That's none of your business. He voted for fucking Biden.
Sean,
Sean,
I'm glad you've had great experiences.
So this is what I'm talking about, you guys. The enemy of Canada.
Sean Strickland is notorious for having no filters when he speaks. When the UFC champion wants to speak facts, he does it with as much force as he puts into actual combat in the octagon. And from the get-go, he went on a verbal rampage on the reporter who tried to force out answers from the then UFC champion.
Let me ask you something. Are you gay?
Have you had the chance to interact with a more diverse
Let me know. Are you gay?
Could I get an answer?
Well, no, I'm asking. This is a part of. Are you a gay man?
I'm an ally of the community.
Okay. If you had a son and he was like, you had a son, he was gay, you'd be like, oh man, you don't want a grandkid?
No problem with it.
The fact that you have no fucking backbone, and has he shut down your fucking country and seized bank accounts? You ask me some stupid shit like that, go fuck yourself.
Now, it's pretty obvious that Strickland wasn't having the woke BS from this reporter, but it kind of seemed like the journalist just wanted to get schooled some more. Nobody, especially kids, ought to be forced to adopt these sexual behaviors. And if the woke left is bent on pushing these ideas down the throats of other people, then it's going to become necessary to fight back.
Move the fuck on, man.
I feel like that doesn't really answer the question, but I did want to ask also things you said about the trans community. You said this past October when they announced the Bud Light sponsorship that you'd go so hard on Bud Light in your next fight, they'll have to accept me or denounce me when they know what, and will know what they stand for. Are you?
This guy's like, hey, this Canadian's not that Canadian.
Are you still going to use your fight time to kind of speak on that?
Here's the thing about Bud Light.
Now, everybody with a logical brain understands that most of the woke demands is just plain insanity. But calling it out is something most people are scared of doing. Now, thankfully, Sean Strickland ain't among those who's scared of the woke media.
I don't want my kids being taught about, who they could fuck in school. I don't want my kids being taught about, their sexual preference. Like, dude, this guy is the fucking enemy. You want to look at the fucking enemy to our world? It's that motherfucker right there, asking these stupid fucking questions. Sorry, I told the UFC I was being nicer. Lance, am I still good with this? Did I cross any lines? A little. What the fuck? I didn't say the F word. You just brought this fucking guy in here to piss me off.
You just did, but just to follow up, I mean, Rick.
Did I say it?
You just did.
No, I didn't say it.
The wolves after our kids is a problem, and it shouldn't be strange to people like Sean is standing up for what's right. In fact, this should be a wake-up call for more athletes to start doing their best to lend their voices against the woke left and their gender-affirming treatments. Kids is out there being mutilated, and staying quiet's only gonna allow this madness to continue. You even got kids out there who self-identifying as vegetables.
All right, good. All right, now, we've talked about sports, we've talked about your career. How about politics? Do you follow politics at all?
Listen, if I start talking politics, my friends are not going to like me. Hey, let's just not do that, okay? Let's just not do that.
Come on. All right, tell me.
My family get mad, my friends get mad when we talk politics.
Now, even Mike Tyson realizes that it's common sense to be conservative in this age where traditional liberals is called out as bigots and racist by woke extremists. Despite the backlash Tyson got from stating his opinions about politics, the ex-world champion ain't scared to talk about his newfound conservative mindset. And although he was cautious, he still told it as he felt it in his soul.
Donald Trump stood up for me when they talked bad about me, and people said, "What do you think about this convicted rapist?" Said he was for you. He responded. He said, he accepted my
Having the guts to stand up for what you believe and know, regardless of what the general opinion is what differentiates champions from the crowd. A former kickboxing champion and social media personality Andrew Tate has been very vocal on his stand against woke culture. The affront on the Last Supper during the 2024 Olympics opening ceremony was protested by Tate and his brother with placards and signs on the streets of Romania.
And to sit here and let France mock the country, mock your religion, make fun of every single thing you feel holy. This is the Last Supper. This is everything holy about Christianity, and we say absolutely nothing about it and say, oh, you cannot even complain. What are we doing wrong by saying that this is disgusting? This is not art.
Tate ain't no doubt a controversial figure, but he ain't never shied away from lending his voice to cry out against woke culture. And it ain't no surprise that he's been banned from every major social media platform except for X.
The Matrix is attacking this stream as we speak. The Matrix is afraid. Tristan, they fired their biggest weapon at us. They looked at us and thought they have too much power, too much influence. Let's hit them with the most powerful weapon we have. Let's cancel them. Let's close all their accounts. Let's make them vanish. Let's destroy their influence. That's the biggest bullet they have. Imagine shooting a man with your last bullet and he stands there.
The Tate brothers may sound toxic and cocky to some, but their voices are among the most recognizable when it comes to those opposing the woke left. Now here's the moment when UFC lightweight former champion Israel Adesanya stood up for Joe Rogan and slammed the woke mob by supporting him openly.
First off, let me take this one. Hold up. I'm black. I can take this one. Look.
Okay. What were...
No. There's a lot of cunts in this game. There's a lot of snakes in this game. I've been in this fight game since 2008. And Joe Rogan is one of the nicest, coolest, humble motherfuckers I've had the pleasure of working with.
Man, he couldn't have said it any better. Like, his statement completely destroyed the woke left's attempt at disregarding Joe Rogan. And it's obvious that ain't no censorship tactic gonna work here.
Boys, man, you know what they're trying to do. You can't control the man, and he's got the biggest platform.
Okay, the last athlete in today's video is none other than UFC former world championship Khabib, who is well known for his brash takes on woke ideologies. He cuts him no slack at all.
A very technical question for you. I know you're a math guy, and this one may be a tough question for you. If you're uncomfortable answering this one, I'm totally okay with that. How many genders do you guys have in Russia? Just very... I know you're a math guy, that's why I'm asking. I think maybe there's a...
Khabib, as he said, was raised by conservatives in the mountains of Russia. Now, where he comes from, knowing the difference between a man and a woman doesn't require extreme mental capabilities. These days, the question of how many genders exist is something that could cause certain people to be offended. But it's good to know that Khabib is still at a common sense opinion that believes there's only two genders.
2 bedroom, all gender. It's like, what is this? Where I have to go? First time I said, like, I stopped, like, I stayed like 5 seconds there, like. Where's woman? Where's men?
And that's it for today's, guys. If y'all like this video, then check out our other ones. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.